Okay, let me switch to English as our next speaker comes from the Netherlands. He's quite fluent in German, so if you have any questions later on or just want to discuss something, approach him and practice some German with him. It's a great honor to have Joris van Tubergen again here on stage. He was a keynote speaker last year, and quite spontaneously he jumped in because one speaker was ill, and now we have a really great talk about a project probably some of you saw. Who knows Joris or the work of Joris? Yeah, there are quite some. Yeah, so even software features named after him. He's one of the most creative guys in 3D printing. Not so product related, I think. He's more like doing, I just said it to Melanie from Boccosini. She said, he just told me that he already was printing chocolate 3 years ago. So and this is Joris. He's always doing the stuff we are doing, but way earlier. So Joris, come on stage and enlighten us.
Okay, thank you, Florent, for the introduction. I have a short presentation about how to print an elephant in real life, in life-size elephant. As Florent said, I'm Joris van Tubergen. I'm a product designer, trained product designer, inventor, artist. I make installations with 3D printers. And besides that, I'm also the creative director of Protospace, the Fab Lab in Utrecht. And I work a lot with the Ultimakers because the Ultimaker was more or less born in our lab. It was a product out of the series of masterclasses we started already in 2008. So why do I use Ultimakers? It's just, I know them very well, but I think every 3D printer under 3,000 euros can do the same thing. Yeah, an elephant. This is it. About a year ago, I had this, I wanted to print something taller, and I already made a higher Ultimaker because you can laser cut the panels yourself. And I was about to order a new kit for a higher machine, and I said, yeah, but then I have another machine at home. I already have 4 in the living room. So why, I can also just flip the machine, flip the nozzle, and pull the machine up against the wall. And as with the most projects I do, if I have an idea, I try to make it as fast as possible. That's also a tip for everybody. If you want to do something, try to create it within an hour. Because if you can create it within an hour, you know it will be better within a day. And if you cannot create it within the hour, you don't know what will happen at the end of the day. It doesn't mean you have to stop, because if you can create it within a day, you know it will be better within a week and a month and a year and 5 years. But it gives a lot of security if you can create at least something as soon as possible. And the first prototype was 2 sliding door rails from the DIY shop for 10 euros for 2 meters, a wooden shelf, and 30 euros in total. And I was printing higher things. So I thought, whoa, that works. And a month later, a designer of an advertising agency came to me and they said, can you print an elephant? And I was like, yeah, I printed this high so far. So yes, I think so. So that's the elephant. But more introduction, a little bit of history. This was 4 years ago. I think it was the first 3D print shop in the world. And it is a big warehouse in Amsterdam. And a lot of shops were empty. And they asked a lot of creatives to go in there. And I just had my first 3D printer for a couple of weeks. And I was thinking, okay, but now this is really how the new shop looked like. You walk in, there are no products. You say, I want something, you push the button, it will be created, and you walk out of the shop with your product. So I started with this €1 per minute design thing. If it takes longer to print, you pay more. So taller things are more expensive. If you print faster, the quality goes down a little bit, but it's also cheaper. So that sort of concept. 2013, maybe people know, I designed and printed the cup every week. The weekly cups. You can still find them on Thingiverse and Imagine. This is, I think, 2012, in December. We have this tradition with Sinterklaas, that you print letters with chocolate. And actually the first ID for, I think I have a pointer on this one, is it? Yeah. This add-on, a friend of me had a kid, so I thought, okay, it would be nice to make a picture with cookies with the name written on the cookies. But I didn't have any electronics in the house, so I designed something to hold the syringe. And instead of using a motor to push the syringe, I used the filament to push the syringe. So you don't need any extra hardware. You can just download it, print it, and without anything extra addition, you can push. Yeah, this was also a hack for half a day. It worked. And then I went to the chocolate. It's a famous chocolate guy in the Netherlands. And also, yeah, and I said, okay, I don't know anything about chocolate, but I think it would be nice to do this. And he said, I will come over. I said, no, because if you want to print chocolate, you need to be in a kitchen. So you have to bring the machine to the kitchen, because knowing the machine and bringing the machine is very easy. So I brought the machine to the kitchen, and we did some, is it 3D, 2.5D printing right in the shop. And the customers could choose their letters and their logos and everything. So it was a nice experiment, but that's it. If I'd done it, then okay, it works, next. This was for a pop-up store in New York. And I made a complete Ultimaker wall. And this was a wall with 12 machines. And you can start the files with your mobile phone. And what I really like is in most of my projects, you see some sort of industrial scale with consumer printers. And everybody think, at least 2012, 3D printing is about prototyping. Yeah, a lot is about prototyping, but if you have 12 machines and you can design objects which can print for less than half an hour, you can produce more than 5,000 objects a week. And 5,000 objects a week is not prototyping, that's production. And then you have a production machine which costs less than 20,000 euros. I think if I want to set up a conveyor belt in a factory, I need at least 500,000 and then can only do one task. So it's very interesting. It's way not on the industrial level yet, but I really like to show people that what are the possibilities of the printers. You can do a lot of things not with these machines, but there are a lot of possibilities you can do with these machines. And I'm also involved in the 3D Print Kennel House, and it's actually sort of the same project. What would it be if you scale up the printer 10 times? Yeah, so we made a container, and this is 2 by 2 by 2, and we start printing. At the moment, we are now building the second machine. If you look at 3dprintkennerhouse.com, you see the whole project, and it's a really quite interesting research project, what 3D printing can mean for making housing and in the building industry. And then you have to test. So the first tests were done on the milling machine in the lab. I made an extruder with the regular Ultimaker extruders. Normally, I think they print around 40 grams per hour. So that's not enough. If I drill them out, I can maybe go to 100 or 200 grams per hour. That's still not enough. If you only deposit 200 grams per hour, you need a lot of hours to create something. And I made some experiments with putting 3 filaments together into one nozzle. And this is how some of my experiments look like. You know, it's not something that works great, but if I know it works when I use 4 hands, I know give me 1 extra day, and I can remove the hands as well in the process. And if you don't know if it works at all, you can put a lot of effort in making it more beautiful or making it work, but why would you? If this is already taking a week to get here, then you know that getting the whole system done takes at least a month. And then you get in contact with other robot suppliers. So here we did a small test with a big robot. And yeah, then we go back to the elephant again. There's a small documentary about the elephant I will show you. It's 11 minutes. Because on this show, everybody thinks maybe, oh, wow, he printed an elephant. But that was not the goal. There was the advertising agency came to me. They said, we have a client, the World Animal Protection, and they have a national campaign, only in the Netherlands, to create awareness of riding elephants. There were still tour operators where you could book elephant rides in Asia, and that's not good. You probably see it in the campaign as well. And we want to make a petition and make it a bit special. I think I should stop talking and just show you the documentary. Ja, bij 3D-print is eigenlijk controleren van het proces of beheersen van het proces belangrijk. En op dit paneltje zie je dus, ja, je kan de snelheid instellen, temperatuur, wat je versnelling is. Dus het hangt ook een beetje af van object naar object. Normaal zijn 3D-printjes, nou ja, groot, klein konijntje zeg maar, kleine dingetjes. Maar als je gewoon denkt dat je een object in stukken kan knippen. En ik heb een 3D-scan van mezelf. En ik zou mezelf in 4 stukken knippen of in 6. Dan kan ik gewoon mezelf eigenlijk in kolommen printen en aan elkaar zetten.
Ik heb eerst geprobeerd om dit gelijk vanuit de computer op te zetten, maar daarmee merk je dat de lijnen eigenlijk te strak worden en er minder leven in zit. En dat is juist wat er in de huid natuurlijk wel zit. Dat wil je gewoon zien terug te krijgen.
Dus ja, ik heb eigenlijk mijn standaard 3D-printer. 20 bij 20 bij 20, dat is een soort standaard zeg maar, wat er met deze apparaten kan. Maar als ik hem omgedraaid heb en de kop naar beneden heb gedaan, kan ik ineens out of the box printen. En als railtje, ja, daar heb ik gewoon eigenlijk zijn het schuifdeurrails, die heb ik op een houten plaat geschroefd. En ik wist ook niet of het werkt, dus gewoon eerst het testje geprint. En daar kreeg ik echt al zo goed resultaat uit dat ik dacht van ja, nou, dat moet leuker en makkelijker.
Vanochtend van Joris, de 3D-print specialist, dat het überhaupt nog nooit op dat formaat was gedaan. Dus
dat is echt uniek.
Ja. Het kan ook mislukken. Ja, dat is...
Mensen denken vaak, ja, je kan toch ook op een paard rijden, waarom kan je niet op een olifant rijden? Die is nog veel groter en sterker. Maar het is juist het leed wat je niet ziet, dus dat een kleine olifant moet worden gebroken, zoals dat heet. De wilskracht moet worden gebroken. En dat gebeurt als hij nog jong is, want daarna is dat veel lastiger. En dan wordt hij net zo lang geslagen, uitgehongerd, opgesloten, totdat hij opgeeft. En ja, dan pas kan de training beginnen. En kan uiteindelijk de toerist veilig op een ritje maken.
Hoe komt u dan in? Want als we hem hier eerst zien, we hebben niet hier de ruimte.
Ja, toen zijn wij gaan nadenken van hoe kunnen we dat vertellen? Want hoe kunnen we daar echt verandering in brengen? Want we zijn ook maar Nederland. Het is ook niet zo dat als in Nederland iedereen stopt met olifantenritjes, dat het dan maar zomaar opgelost is. En het eerste waar je aan denkt als je iets wil veranderen of bewerkstelligen is een petitie. Toen hebben we alleen gedacht van laten we dat op een hele originele manier gaan doen. Een petitie die heel anders is dan andere petities.
het grote geluk gehad dat we Joris van Tubergen zijn tegengekomen. Die op het moment dat wij hem belden net een uitvinding of een ontdekking had gedaan in zijn ateliertje. Waardoor hij veel groter kon printen dan tot dan toe kon.
Pas net, hè? Die.
Wieltjes, en nog wieltjes, wieltjes, hondjes. Hoi, ho. Hondje, hondje.
Ik denk niet dat we dat moeten doen.
Het wordt prachtig weer.
Want dit kan dus inderdaad weg. En dat kan helemaal weg tot aan de achterkant. Het is geen project waar je aan begint als je niet van een uitdaging houdt.
Do we bring a GoPro with us as well today?
There's one there.
Oh, what is working on projects like this really help to motivate the people who are working on it and give us a passion for actually the end result.
Als die GoPro's overbelicht zijn, dan moet ik het nu weten.
Ja, dus dat is geen optie.
Nou,
We gaan toch wel af.
eraf. Eraf! Oh my god! Ja.
Steeds als iemand de petitie tekent, dan print die 3D-printer een stukje verder. Dat idee stond wel heel snel. En, maar op een gegeven moment hadden we wel van, hoe gaan we dan al die namen erbij doen? Totdat we op een gegeven moment erachter kwamen dat het heel tof zou zijn als gewoon de namen op die olifant zouden staan.
Wat wij graag willen is dat de parken, de kampen, olifantenkampen die nu niet goed doen en die niet goed voor een olifant zorgen en die de ritten aanbieden waar zoveel leed achter verscholen gaat, dat die langzaamaan eigenlijk worden omgevormd tot verantwoordelijke opvangparken. Tot het moment dat er op een gegeven moment helemaal geen vraag meer is naar een olifantenrit en een olifantenshow. En mensen in principe alleen nog maar een olifant in het wild gaan bekijken.
Ik doe er graag mee. Ik maak ook de belofte. Ik ga er nooit meer op zitten. Het zijn fantastische, prachtige dieren en die moeten in alle mogelijke vormen beschermd worden.
Ja, dit staat in de wel onder. Ja.
Het wordt eigenlijk heel erg goed het nieuws opgepakt. Op radio en televisie, maar ook heel veel persberichten, kranten. Eergisteren hadden we een item bij Piet Weers.
Daar kan je je naam achterlaten. Die wordt ook geprint op deze hele mooie 3D-olifant.
Dan zie je ook weer een piekje dat er een stuk meer mensen gaan tekenen. Ja, dat houden we eigenlijk bijna ieder uur bij. Dat we kijken, oh, is de teller alweer omhoog.
Het is nu woensdagavond en zaterdagavond moet hij klaar zijn.
Ruimte, Floortje. Ja, dat die machine stuk gaat, daar ben ik niet zo bang voor. Dat gebeurt niet. Ik heb er al een paar keer van mijn fiets laten vallen terwijl ik aan het fietsen was. Dus ik denk dat een hoop mensen denken dat als iets niet meer werkt, dat hij dan stuk is. Nou, daar moeten we vanaf.
Ruim 21.000 mensen zijn al afgestapt van de olifant.
Er zijn er nog 2, geloof ik, die overstag moeten gaan. Dat proberen we nog voor elkaar te krijgen. En dan is het eigenlijk niet meer mogelijk om in Nederland een olifantenritje te boeken. En dat zouden wij wel een groot resultaat vinden. Ja. Ja, dan heb je het eigenlijk onmogelijk gemaakt voor Nederlanders om in Nederland zo'n olifantenritje te boeken. En dat maakt al wat uit.
So keep in mind this was a national campaign, but I think the elephant was published on all 3D print blogs, but nobody understood what the campaign was about because it was a national campaign. The website of the campaign was only in Dutch. But I hope with this documentary, which is made, you got a better idea of what it was about. And hello, yeah. Now the technical part, the technical part, what did I do? Actually, I didn't do that much. I figured out if you flip the nozzle of the Ultimaker, which you can do if you just unscrew 4 screws, then the nozzle sticks out of the Ultimaker itself. So if you then flip the Ultimaker around, the nozzle sticks out at the bottom, so the only thing you have to do is lift the Ultimaker every layer. And the good thing is if you flip the Ultimaker, you see the electronics on the bottom. So you can very easily swap the Z motor with the new Z motor and swap the Z end stop with the new Z end stop. And that's it. So it's in 10 minutes you can convert it to Z Unlimited or back. So that's the idea. And then this was the first prototype. As I told in the video, sliding door rails wouldn't, and this was not even mounted to the wall. It was just leaning against the wall. And the quality of this object was already like above expectation of myself. So I thought, okay, what if I mount it? Then it will be even better and better. And the first gearbox, because I didn't want to wait over the weekend for a gearbox, I printed one. I downloaded one from Thingiverse. So it's a 3D printed, not so good gearbox, but it was good enough for a job. And then you come up with the other thing. If you print things which get higher, the only fixation is at the bottom of the build platform. So no matter how stiff your material is, if something is this high, it will bend and it will move, especially if you put something on top of each other. So I came up with a support or stabilize beams. And you mount them here, and then when you put the wires, you just put them over the print, and the nozzle prints the wires in the shell. And when it's ready, you cut the wires and you pull them out, just like the stitches in your skin. You can pull them out and you don't see them anymore. So you can put these every 30 cents. Depends a little bit of the object. If the object is very small at the bottom and bigger on the top, you need some more. But if it's more like a pyramid, you need less. So you can just see what's going on. And this is when we start building. I put in every machine, I put a Raspberry Pi, because the whole installation was on Schiphol Airport. And there were 3 HD cameras filming the process for the audience. But they were just more like filming the room and the elephant. And I had inside the printers, I had a camera to see the process itself. So that was only for me. So I could monitor if it's going well. And I cannot really restart or start a new print. But if something fails, I can at least see it and stop the machine or pause the machine and then go to Schiphol Airport and to fix it. This is how it looked like straight up. And now I just brought 4 rails and I mounted them on the aluminum bars. So it's easier for transport. With this in mind, I heard a lot of people, okay, but I would like to print these tall things as well. So I thought, okay, maybe I will try to do a Kickstarter campaign. Also with the knowledge that in our lab, I say to a lot of people with a good idea, maybe you can kickstart the idea, but I never done any Kickstarter projects. I also want to get the knowledge of what does it mean if you do, a Kickstarter project. It's not just putting things online, make a movie. If you want to have a successful campaign, it takes a lot of preparation. You have to get the right media, you have to get the right videos, you have to get the right people, right timing. So I used this project to get that experience as well. And within 3 days, I was already at the target because people knew about the elephant and I didn't need that many people. There's not that many people who want to print this big. And from the people who want to print this big, they also need an Ultimaker. So it's a very small group who wants, or maybe they buy an Ultimaker because, I don't know, maybe it's the other way around. I don't think so. But so I'm now preparing the boxes for the backers to ship them over the world. So, and I think the next year will be very excited because then I'm not the only one who can print big things, but there are some more smart people who can do more crazy things with this kind of scale of 3D printers. That was in short the presentation. Maybe I want to add also on I have a piece of this is the eye of the elephant, and then you can also see the elephant, the font which is designed for the elephant skins. And you can read them. You have to practice it a little bit, but then you can see the names. And so you can see and touch it. The biggest problem was, I will see if I can get a picture of the whole elephant again. This. I only had a little over 2 weeks to print the complete elephant. Yeah, so there's 15 rows. So I had to print 1 row a day. That means 1 column a day per printer. So you have to design a column that it doesn't weigh more than 1 reel of filament. That was my goal, so 2.2 kilos. And so you cannot print it completely hollow because then it's not strong enough. And you cannot print it with infill because then it takes 6 days at least for 1 column. So I combined like 6 or 7 different Cura profiles into 1 column. So I made a small batch script. I'm not a programmer, I'm a product designer, but I can do with this little bit of tweaking, I managed to do that. It was quite interesting. What was also interesting is you have these names written on the columns. It's a very high detail. On the most complex column, you get an STL file. This gets quite technical, but I think some in the audience will understand. At one point, your STL file is 2 gigabytes. And then you have to process it, and then you need the internal memory of more than 30 gigabytes. I didn't have that in my computer, and I didn't realize it almost till that point. So there were some quite interesting challenges of just printing a simple elephant. And I think the quality with the machine, the prints you see here, there are some failures over here. If you can say what is quality, I think quality is or the time is the quality, or the service is the quality, and you cannot do both. And sometimes I think time is a very good quality. If you can print something really big in 24 hours, it has a lot of quality. And if you need a big service, no problem. You slow down the machine, but then it takes for the same object 6 days. And yeah, that's a bit how I work and about the elephant. Any questions? You can see the installation, by the way, over there.
Okay, Joris, thank you very much for the presentation. Yes.